go. Hey, what's going on, world? It's your girl Shy.
And your girl T.
And welcome to the CheyTea podcast. Whoa.
Hey.
Wow. I'm peeping at the building.
Special guest in the building.
Are you dumb?
Miss
Is
Tasha
that
Tazz.
Shut up.
Not the
Here we
Tasha
go.
Tazz. Let me just.
Oh.
Tasha
So
Tazz
funny.
is in the building.
Let's go.
Hello, everyone.
I don't know why you're being so subtle, like you don't know who you are.
Listen, sometimes you just have to use your inside voice.
Yes.
I don't have one of those.
She
I'm
got a
so
singing
sorry.
I
voice.
know, but it's lovable.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Today.
Yes, we appreciate you coming through.
Always
My
a
pleasure.
blessing to have the seasonal OG choreographer, creative director, hairdresser, fashion designer, big boss.
If I can hit you up to do my hair.
Sis, come through. A
Hey,
little busy,
my
but
word.
come through.
She's listen,
She booked
she's
and
booked
busy.
and busy in dance
I
and
can't.
also outside the dance. in
But blessed to be
Sculptures.
busy, though. Blessed to
Listen,
be busy.
it is a blessing, especially in these times. It's a blessing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
100%.
Mhm.
So let everybody know who you are. A little bit about yourself.
Jeez. Okay, so if anybody knows me, they know I hate talking about myself.
Yes.
But I'll just do a little snippet. I'm Tasha, or Tazz, as everybody calls me in dance. Let's see, I've been dancing, aged myself over 30 years. Whatever, shut up. You still look good.
Good body.
Yeah, I started out dancing, not trained per se, but I have been dancing from when I was a child. I was born in Jamaica, so my cousins always conned me to get things done by dancing. Like, oh, you want your ear perm? Here, come dance. And that was how it was. So dancing was always kind of a thing for me from a baby right up until now. When I got to Canada, I kind of like really fell in love with b-boying and stuff. So I used to be a b-boy. That's how I started off. I danced with begging tricks. back in the
Oh my
days.
G.
I know. Some people don't know that.
Holy, big up Mariano.
Yes.
Wow.
But yeah, Ben's when we went to high school together, and I just like seen them dancing on stage. I was like, I want to do that. And then he was like, well, come on then, let me teach you. And then he taught me, and like my very first show was like a few months after that. And it was kind of like, it just kind of whirlwind. Like it was like the biggest stage I'd ever been on, and I think I was probably like 14, 15 at the time. And yeah, ever since then, from high school, I did stepping. I was always on somebody's cheerleading squad, doing not cheerleading, but hip hop.
That's okay.
We're from the hood, so we don't really
So we don't care.
You know what? A lot of cheer is like, I guess they call it cheer hop. Kinda.
Yeah, because it wasn't like an actual give me a. It
Give me
wasn't
a
like
A,
it
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like I think we did that maybe once, and it was trash. So we just went back to dancing.
Did you guys have pom poms?
We got rid of that probably as soon as a senior that made us use it the first year she graduated. After that, we never seen those pom poms again.
Yeah.
But then it was just hip hop. So
That's
I don't know. But yeah, so we started off like that, and then I kind of just through high school, my next audition was like for FemFat because I really, really just wanted to keep dancing. Like I had like the dance bug. Again, I wasn't like going to classes. No parents took me to Saturday morning training, nothing. So I just really wanted to dance. And I went to an audition because I was trying to convince my girlfriends, let's do a dance group. And they were like, oh, let's just go to this audition. Somebody to do it for us.
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up at a FemFat audition, like a Saturday morning when I was cleaning the house. And my mom didn't really notice. I was kind of slipped out and ran to Finch and auditioned for FemFat, and I got in. That was my first dance crew with all ladies. That was like seriously like rehearsals every week on the dot like that. And from there, after I did my first Honey Jam show with FemFat, then Luther Brown seen me and he asked me if I wanted to do a music video, and I was just like, sure. And that's how it started. And then it kind of snowballed into that. And my first music video was with Glen Lewis, and I was 17 years old.
Nice.
And yeah, again, it wasn't trained. It was hard as hell because, you know, I was like dancing with like Touch and Mark and them, and I was looking at them like, oh, these guys are really good.
Yeah,
I
and
didn't
it's
even know- I
choreography
didn't-
too, right?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
choreography, and it was like choreo,
Mm-hmm.
and like, you know, it was difficult, but I pushed through it, and yeah, and then years down the line, I kept doing video after video after video, and yeah, and I guess kind of like that's kind of how it is, and then leads to one artist to another, and the tour
Leads to
here,
booked and busy.
booked and busy, and
on
that's-
all aspects.
and that's how it started. So nobody can't ever tell you you can't do something just because, like,
Right.
you know, oh, I didn't have the same facilities as you.
Mm-hmm.
It's you and your drive.
Right. And that's that's definitely important that you mentioned that you didn't start in dance hall, because I feel like a lot of people have left you in that bubble. Like, yes, it's a part of your culture. It's where you
It
were
is.
born, it's what you're raised in,
Mhm.
obviously, but that's not the bubble you stay in. You can do it all.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the bubble I stayed in. Like, dance hall really actually came at the latter end of my career. Like, I even moved to Mexico, and I was strictly not doing any dance hall at all. It was 90% Latin and shit that was trained, and I just faked it till I made it.
Gotta fake it till you make it, honey.
Listen, I was, you know, doing all kinds of jetés and pirouettes, and, you know,
Not
I was doing,
jetés.
yes, I sure was,
Pointing
honey.
toes.
I was pointing toes, you know, and that's just
way.
how it was. So again, like, people don't know that I'm trained in like Latin as well, because I went to a Latin country, and
Wow.
they sure trained the hell out of me.
Well-rounded.
You know, so again, it's okay. You don't need to know everything about me. Just need to know why I'm black.
Exactly. That's it. Period.
Yeah, so end of the episode. No, I'm joking.
How was Mexico?
Mexico was fun and very different, of course. Like, you know, being a Jamaican Canadian, living in a whole new country that only speaks Spanish, and then I got injured in Mexico, so I had to navigate that. That's why I always tell people I can live anywhere in this world, because I will figure it out. Like, you know, and I was never scared of much things. Like, if I felt like, you know, you're kind of out here a little bit late in the night, I walk with a knife. I'm sorry, I'm a hood nigga still. But, you know, but again,
Knife, the
that's kinda
pepper
me.
spray.
That's it. Like, when I lived in New York, I walk with knives. The guy gave me mace. He said, you know what, you live in East New York? Here you go. You need this, sis.
You need
I
it.
was like, okay.
Yeah.
But, like, I was always ready, like, just in case. Because I always tell people,
Gotta stay ready.
listen, make sure
Stay
you
ready,
know who
so
you're
y'all
running.
get ready.
Listen,
Period. Telling
I always tell
y'all.
people, don't be no hooper fighting, and nobody has ever said boo to me. So
Can I get that on a shirt?
I always say it.
Yeah.
'Cause I was
Trademark
like,
that.
how come this shit still happened to me? And I was just like, yeah, probably because of how you look walking down the street.
Yeah, you have
These
that.
rapists are probably
yeah.
intimidated
They could
by you.
tell
Probably.
yeah.
They're probably like, yeah, not her. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
No.
right.
That's
You're
good.
sure right. But
When did you solidify yourself in the dance hall community? When do you think you got that badge, like that honor of like the bodice? In my opinion, that's what you have. But I'm
okay, but that's a joke. Like, I feel like you have me there. I feel like dance hall doesn't have me there.
I
Begs to
I
differ.
beg to
Listen,
differ.
okay.
Because some of the people them always say your name. We had a guest on this show himself, Tabby Rockstar, said
Definitely brought up your
"You
name.
You are the reason why. So you need to give yourself that. Wear the badge now. Wear it.
okay. So when the Sean Paul audition happened, I would say that's where the turning point for dance hall happened in Toronto. I don't really recall doing a lot of other dance hall gigs that was in the forefront. I did a lot of back end stuff. Like, I used to be a bad girl for the Epiphany. I don't know, again, aging myself, but Epiphany was, you know, everybody's favorite hotspot on a Thursday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday nights. And like, they would bring international artists, and they would have, like, you know, ladies nights where the strippers came out. You know, you know, yes, the strippers. But like, it was very dance hall heavy, and I was one of the dancers for it. Like, and we would actually do things like we would fly to New York and we would open for acts. Like a lot of people don't know those this little hood thing actually did things like that. So we did a lot of behind the scenes dance hall work. Shouts out to Angela from Voluptuous. She's the one that put me onto that. But so a lot of people don't know about, like, you know, the little back end of those kinds of things that was happening in the dance hall community. And then so when Sean Paul comes and that was more mainstream, that's when it kind of like blossomed. And like, you know, me, Onika, and Ponytails, we went on tour with him for the first part of his promo tour.
Nice.
I mean, drama always happens because it's dance and it's industry.
Yep.
And like, you know, our jobs were, you know, snatched up out under us, and it was given to American dancers. And that's how we lost that job. It wasn't because of anything else. It was just some politics behind the scenes. And I guess why I say, like, you probably have me that way is because you see me doing a lot of dance hall things. I teach dance hall. I travel to Japan teaching dance hall. I teach dance hall everywhere I go. But at the end of the day, like here, Canada, yeah, no, they don't have me like that. Like, I don't ever feel the love from my Canadian counterparts that do anywhere else in the world.
That's funny that you say that, because we had a conversation about that just in general, how like it's not the same in Canada as it is in other parts of the world. It's so crazy.
Yeah,
people are very critical, or it's like they're oblivious to things. They know, like, the elephant can be in a room with everyone, and like we just avoid it.
Yeah, like Toronto really is a hater capital for real. Like when I lived in New York, and my friends, they're Japanese. They were just like, I used to go dance to the club called Copacabana. Hello, it's fun as shit. Love that place. But my Japanese friends, they looked at me like, they just freestyling. It's like, yo, we have to bring you to Japan. I was like, oh, sure, whatever, if you say so. And they brought me to Japan. Like, they brought me to Japan to teach. I kid you not, like, I did like 7-city tour. And every single one was filled to the brim. So I'm like, oh my God, we have to get a bigger space because it's not enough room. And I'm just like, what are you guys talking about? Like, when this is me before I even got there. And when I seen it, I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, these guys are going on the strength of me just saying I was in the video. I could have lied and said it was somebody else. Like, you know, I could have been a whole entire other person. But like, I guess because my friends knew, and like, you know, like they put little splash little pictures and videos up of me and my resume, and that was enough. Whereas people will see me here, they'll see me on stage, they'll see me at work, and they'll just be like 2 people in my class, and I'll be like, this is why I don't trust Canada for putting myself out there. Because like, you know, you can go all across the world and everybody else will show you love and respect for what you've done, and you come home and people pretend like they don't even know who you are. And it's fine. Because hold up here anyway.
Right.
It's like, here we go. Here's the burning question.
What do you, first of all, forget how you feel, even though you shouldn't feel that way. But with your knowledge and your experience and your season, within these seasons, what do you have to say about the cultural appropriation in the dancehall community? In the dancehall genre overall.
Yeah, I feel like in the dancehall genre it's more adequate. Because it really is kind of just all over the place. And again, I really do think that appreciating somebody's culture is beautiful, and respecting it and showing it in its best light is great as well. But yeah, it's kind of out of control. If you ask me, per se.
That's a perfect way to say it.
That's the best way to say it.
Yeah.
Literally the best way to say it.
Yeah. And it's I'll just talk about dance hall from my perspective. As a born Jamaican, Jamaican parents, you know, born in Jubilee Hospital in Kingston. Okay, if you can't say them, yeah, not the Jubilee. Yes, not, you know, but born in Kingston, Jamaica. It's I can tell when somebody appreciates my culture, and I can tell when you're appropriating it. And it's not saying that, you know, like I have a problem with whites or Asians or whatever doing dance hall or Jamaican-esque things because I'm Jamaican and Jamaica has Chinese Jamaicans, white Jamaicans, Indian Jamaicans. So it's not like we don't see different races in our culture. So you can't ever think I'm racist in that sense because I know a lot of West Indians that are not black. I'll be honest with you, and they don't even do dance hall. That is the funniest thing about it. They don't go out and they don't teach dance hall. They don't, like, it's weird to me when I see it done by non-Jamaican people of non-color. So I'm just like always wondering, like, to my Jamaican, like Chinese and Indians and white. So what? I mean, you don't want to teach dance how to? Like, but they never do.
Facts.
But but it's so appealing to everybody else outside of them that it blows my mind. Like, I'm just like, okay, so if they don't want to do their own cultural things, like, how come you guys are so emboldened, so empowered to want to like take my culture and just kind of like exploit it a lot, not like I'm like I'm talking and I'm just like seeing some videos that I've seen like on social media and I'm just like, it looks so horrible. Like, do you even know why you even do that, girl? Like, do you even know what you're supposed to try and embody, boy? Like, and like, like I always say that, there should be a kind of like a checklist you should do. Number one, you should probably just visit Jamaica once. That's what I would just like you to go there. How about putting some money back into my country? So pay for some. I'm being really serious. I want you to go there. I want you to take a plane there. I want you to buy from the shops there. I want you to go and take classes
not
from
the
people
tourists,
there.
not the resorts
stuff.
We're
like,
talking about
and even them, like, go into town and go into the shops and you want to see the people and you want to actually see the culture because the culture isn't glitz and glam. No matter what dance hall shows you on TikTok or on IG, it's not that. No, you know what I'm saying? Like, these people will wear the most Gucci and D&G and then go back to a tin shack to go live because again they're trying to perpetrate to show you so you can come and take classes from them or whatever it is that they're trying to do, build views for themselves out there in Jamaica so they can get attraction so they can live a better life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're doing it for a means for an end. You're doing it for an end, like, for clout. Like, whatever you want to do it for, I don't care. But at the end of the day, like, when you see people in Jamaica dancing on the street corner, it's because there's no studio space, fam.
Right.
Like, you don't understand this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you want to take all her moves and take all her style and you want to capitalize off it, make your money, and you don't want to give her props, and you don't want to give her the credit, and you don't want to give her the money. Send her some money, okay? You use all her moves. Send her some coin. Go ahead and send her some money you made.
Pay your respects.
You ain't gonna do it. I know you're not. I know 90% of these people who out here taking these. Oh, and then I'm gonna write down who I learned these moves from. Great. I'm glad you looked.
I'm glad you did your research, your history. You memorized the names of these people. Yes. But have you like been in the same room as these people?
Okay.
Have you said hi? Have you shook their hand?
One step back. Let's say you don't have the coin to go to Jamaica. Granted, that's fine. Have you ever been to a dance hall party in Canada? I don't think I've seen much of you guys out and dance. But I go to dance. I've been going to dance when I was 16 years old. Don't listen to that, kids. Stay home.
Wait till you're a legal age, please.
19
years old. 19.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, I've been going to dance from a very, very young age, so I see who's been in the dance hall and that dances with me. There's a lot of people who dance with me on the road, dance hall, and they've never been to a dance before in their life either. But I'm glad that they're not teaching either. So that's another thing.
That's the thing.
They're not teaching. Yeah. They're not claiming themselves as no dance hall professor and no dance hall empress. Like, it's different. But again, like, how do you, because I always say dance hall is not all steps. It's probably the last part of it. dance hall is a culture, it's a movement, it's a feeling, it's a lifestyle, it's just who you are as a person. So it's so hard for me to be like, oh, I'm going to teach you dance hall, because like I can't teach you,
you can't teach
to
you culture.
be like, you know, like I could teach you to kind of emulate it a little bit, to try and do kind of what I do, but I can never teach you of like what I look like when I'm in a dance hall environment.
Important, because there's a lot of things that you're saying about that I reflect on, because I didn't grow up in that world. We grew up in the world of the rec world. So
training in the studio.
Training in the studio, jazz, tap, ballet, acro. So I always felt like I had to hide my blackness in these studios, because it wasn't I don't want to say they weren't racist, but it just wasn't
That's just not what it was.
Right.
It wasn't acknowledged.
Yeah.
So now, like, coming into this industry, I was just straight hip hop. Same thing, straight hip hop. And then once I stepped into the dancehall world was after meeting you when you booked me for Coming to America. That was the first time I've ever met you. I've heard about you. I'm like, trust me, I was fangirling, but I had to keep my composure. But I told myself, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get my feet wet. I'm Jamaican. My parents are Jamaican, and I've gone to Jamaica when I was little. I've been to Jamaica. My parents don't ever let me forget my culture.
Yeah.
So getting into the dancehall world, you have to have that groove. It's natural from the culture, from the country, by being in an experience in Jamaica, going to the banquet hall, then party, going in, the party don't start till 3 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, like, it was a perfect time for me to go. I didn't sneak out, but it was a perfect time for me to sneak out.
I didn't, but I did.
Experience these parties. So, like, I felt it was easier for me because that was my culture. So now when I know that there's other people now where it's now dance hall, or looking for dance hall dancers, or we're looking for this, or we need this for this music video or that music video, and it's like, they just think, oh, well, I've done a dancehall class, or I've been in this industry doing hip hop,
right? So I'm ready.
Like I know Tazz, or I've heard of her, or I took 2 of her classes, so I can do it. I didn't like the fact that even myself, as having a Jamaican background and a Jamaican home in essence, I still don't call myself a dancehall dancer.
Yeah.
Right.
I still don't do that.
Right.
Because like you respect it. Like I would never go because I can do a couple of pirouettes, call myself a ballerina.
Exactly.
It's just
I could never do it. I would never.
So there's so much that go on. So that's why it's like it's important that like it's said. It's not hate. We're not racist. It's not any of that. But does race really matter when it comes to it? If in dancehall, especially when that's not.
No, not at all. There's a lot of dancehall dancers, soca dancers, Afro dancers that are not Black,
right?
And they're sick.
Yeah,
like it's not that at all. Like you know, and it's just to me like I'll always use my little Nazari as my example. Nas came to me by way of Chris Clark.
Pick up Nas. He did our intro. Yes, pick up Nas.
You know, and Nas is just like, he petitioned for himself to be in whatever dance hall I was going to be because Chris was doing a show.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, why not? He's like, I really want to do it. I really want to try and whatever. And I said, okay, no problem. I got you. And I was just like, all right, let me give you a try. Nas was all kinds of offbeat, but I threw him right beside Tabby. And I just like follow his flow. I'm just like, whatever Tabby does,
you do.
Emulate that shit.
Yeah.
And that's what I did to him every single time. And I used him again. I used him for my choreograph piece because I felt his passion.
That's the thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like I knew for a fact he didn't want to do nothing else but learn how to do this.
Right.
And every single time, like Nas never stopped. He just kept going, kept dancing. When everybody else was chilling, thinking they got the choreo and think they got the steps,
he was working.
He was over someplace working. You know what I'm saying?
You have to want it.
He wanted it. And like I always said to people, like, I might not be like, that's my favorite, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, this is my favorite.
That's your dogs.
That's
he's a hard worker.
He's a hard worker, and you see it. And I don't necessarily see that from a lot of people who just jumped up and said, I'm going to start teaching dance hall. You look how long ago that show was. Nas could have been started teaching dance hall from a long time, like everybody else did that took like 1 or 2 classes from a dance hall person. But you know what I'm saying? But he hasn't been the person that's like, you know what, I'm the new white guy on the street that teaches dance hall. Come and learn from me. I've been working with this person for how many years? He hasn't done that. He loves and respects my culture. I see him in a dance. Me and him are dancing up together in a dance.
The respect is there.
I respect it because he respects it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can see a genuine appreciation for my culture in Nas.
Right.
I don't see genuine appreciation for a lot of people, and they're not even. And I'm not talking about all black people either. I'm not white people, I should say. I'm talking about some black people too.
Yeah.
Believe me, they're culturally appropriating my culture too.
Right. Do you think it's entitlement?
It is. And I'm black, so I can do it. I'm black, I can teach Afro. I'm black, I can do this. I'm black. No, it doesn't work like that. I know why my ancestry is African, but you will never catch me teaching an Afro class.
You just know. Like,
I just know. I took Afro when I was living in this is before Afro beats and stuff was a thing. Like, I'm talking traditional Afro. I used to take it every single Wednesday like clockwork on 14th Street in New York. Drums and everything. Again, you don't need to know all my business, but I be learning. You know what I'm saying? Again, I could be that person, be like, hey, I took a few classes. I know, I understand what to do traditional wise. I would never. I would never, because I respect, like, AC, for instance. Why would I approach on her world like that?
Some people just want it all.
Yeah. That's you, girl. Like, I don't think anybody should touch it, because you should be the person
doing it.
You should be the one teaching it, because you understand your culture. You live your culture. You embody your culture. You are your culture. So for me, like, to come and be like, I'm taking a few class still, I can't do this still, It's nice. I can't do it. Money with a night. No, it's not. Forget your money, forget your ego for a second, and just be a student. Be a student. Again, there's way too many teachers. So many Indian chiefs. No freaking way, fam. I'm looking like, yo, what did chief them go? What did Indian them there?
No, I love the way you put that.
Everyone is teaching dancehall. That's that's facts.
Everyone.
Yeah. Everybody.
And that's why sometimes I just kind of just want to oops. Yeah. Because again, I'm not new school. Let me just say that out clear. I am not new school, and I have no interest in doing it.
No.
I don't do steps. I do grounded movements and beats.
Yep.
I am about musicality in a different way. I love a bass line. I don't like top. Why?
No.
Unless I'm winding my waistline that fast, I'm not moving my feet that fast, because Bogle did not do that. Ice did not do that, okay? So no, and those are my teachers. So I'm staying grounded in that.
Yeah.
If the wine does sweet like how dancehall queen Carlene wines, I don't want any parts of it. You get me? Okay.
But it's that stigma, though. That's what they expect us as females to use our sexuality, and they look at it that sense. They're not used to seeing the girls stand up with the man them and dance and dance those, like, and be in the beat and in that. Like, they're not used to that. They just expect us to just wind our waist and
be on our head top in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I could probably count the amount of times I've been on my head top as a dancehall dancer, because like it didn't serve me any purpose. Like I just didn't gig that way. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't gig that way. Like, listen, I'm not knocking anybody that could be on a head top, because my neck hurts every time I think about going on my head top. Okay, and God bless you guys and your strong necks, but no, it's not for everyone.
Forget the knees.
Forget the knees. It's the strong neck, because it's a real thing. Yeah, but. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I love the women who are true to that form and they can do it, because like it's still a beautiful part of our culture. You know what I'm saying? Tricking is very, very important to us, and it ain't for everybody. Like I said, that's not my style of it. I do the other. I do the dainty wind up and carry on, You know, I do that one. I am more dancehall Carlene kind of vibe. I like that ways. I like the bogle and ice way. I like those two, and that's a genre I stick in. That's what I teach. I'll teach you how to pepper seed and world dance and tati and butterfly and all that good stuff. I will teach you how to whine properly.
Not twerk. Sorry.
Right.
Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. There's definitely a proper
Let's
way
not
to
start on the
whine.
twerking.
Let's not start on twerking, because just because I whine my waist doesn't mean that's not twerking, huh?
Yeah.
Not
twerking, ho.
let me digress. Okay.
Oh
Bring it
God.
back. But again, like, you know, I know what I do and I know what I have for my culture and I know what I bring from the culture. I want to keep that part of my culture alive. Everybody else can do the new school. There's going to be the people who are ding dong. They want to follow ding dong's training. Ding dong is after ice and bogle, like, you know, and that's fine.
Different
and then
generations.
I don't know the new people, them names, but you know, and then there's those guys, like, you know, and I'm sure there's people who love those guys too. That's fine too. But again, I know that I'm going to teach you what I learned and who I learned from. But but this cultural appropriation, honey.
Yeah, you can go on forever and ever and ever.
It really can.
Yeah.
And it only stops when the leaders essentially stop themselves and
stop putting it in these industry shows. Stop putting it in the fevers. Stop putting it in the choreo balls. Like, it starts with you guys. Like, it starts with you. It doesn't start with us as the dancers, because at the end of the day, we want the opportunity to be on stage.
So you're
and they think that it's the right way, but it's not.
You know what hurt me? I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
We love the honesty.
This really hurts. It hurt me to see Black women in the back of a buff while the whole front line is all white women doing their culture. That shit hurts. Like, I couldn't even tell you how that made me feel as a Black woman. And I thought to myself, if I was dancing now and I'm being my Jamaican self, I almost feel like I want to cry about this shit, because that shit hurts. Because me being Jamaican and knowing that I'm a Jamaican born, and I've seen a lot of people who I know are Jamaican descent, African descent, they were in the back of their cultural pieces. And I'm like, is fucking tossing hair that much more important than respecting our Black women? I really, really disliked it. And I see a lot. I don't need to call your names because I'm positive they know. You know who you are. And I want you guys to realize how impactful that is as a Black woman, watching you guys do that to your Black women. They may not say anything because, again, they look up to you guys and they respect you, and they're going to just respect your wishes on how you want your piece to be portrayed. But I'm letting you know, on the outside looking in, it don't look good. It don't look good. It don't feel good. It feels horrible. It feels like a betrayal.
It is
because
a betrayal.
I, as a Black woman, would never. I'm very selective of the people who are put in my piece, and if they couldn't do my dancehall piece, they couldn't be in my dancehall piece. So why did you take all these Black women and then put them in the back? Then don't take them at all. Just go on with the white girls or the biracial girls or racially ambiguous women and run with that. Because if that's more appealing to you, then that's what that is. But on an off time that you're hearing this and you're really understanding how it feels, it's fucked up. And you know, it's it shouldn't be that way, because I've always pulled for you guys. So to watch you do that is sucks.
Yeah.
Why do you think that's a thing? Like, why do you think that happens?
Listen, then it becomes it's my preference thing, and
it doesn't even matter at that point because because it's like it doesn't even make sense. It just doesn't make sense.
I don't know. They can always say they're hitting it harder, and again, like put her hair back in a ponytail.
I've heard that, and then see how you can whip that long,
hair. Put your hair. I would say take everybody's hair and put them back in a ponytail and see if you see it the same way. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I always tell people to like. Sometimes I'm notorious for like when I was learning, like when I was younger. Sometimes I would be like, okay, I'm gonna market. I'm trying to feel like where I can put my little on little areas. So you may not see that as a, choreographer right off the bat and right off the rip, and that might make your decision sometimes. I'm not making excuses for dancers. I'm talking about how I work things as a process when I was a dancer, and that's how I did it. I looked for pieces and places in your choreography for my little nuances, and that's how I would work out choreography a lot of the time. So when I went on stage and I destroyed your choreography, like fucking, I destroyed it, and people were wondering why the fuck you put that girl in the back. Yes, because like you didn't understand how I was working.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It happened a lot when I was in New York, and again because. Truthfully, sometimes when I'm working with a new choreographer, I will have to dissect it sometimes, like, because for years, like I was dancing with Jay and Luther, so their style was in my body, so I understood it. I understood their assignment every single time. But then you go to a new person, like I went to like dance with this guy named Bam Bam. He was a lefty. Fucking retard over here on my left knee and waving and popping from a left hand. I was like, oh my gosh. And I was losing my mind, and I had to process it. I had to do everything from the left hand side. So it took me a little bit longer. And then I was just like, and I would not stop until I got it. And again, I had to put my nuances. Well, listen. When it was time to be on stage, okay?
Yeah, you
killed it.
Okay?
Gave that.
Came through.
Let me get that in there. You're gonna see me in the back, and then their reason be like,
why is she over there?
Yeah, and that's what I was looking too when I was watching people in Afrobeats, the black girls in the back. I'm like, the fuck is Janice back there? The fuck? I was like, holy shit, this girl's
Jenna.
I was like, well, she's in a Afro
we love
class.
Say it one more time because.
But I was like, but honey's in a class every single week, so you don't tell me that you don't think she can do the steps.
Yeah, no, she murders it.
This is it. This is her thing. This is her bag. And I'm like,
what the backside? Like she hits it.
Yeah. I was like, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying. Because people don't realize I wasn't watching the front buff.
You were looking at
because I know, like I dance. I've been dancing for so many years, guys. I know what a smoke screen is. I know what it is. I know what it is to dance with chicks with all kinds of hair just tossing around and grabbing air and boxing and choking the shit out of some air. I get it. But don't laugh. But you know what I'm saying? And I know what to look for when I hear the beat. When I hear a beat drop, I know where I'm going. Right. And not saying that I'm not looking and seeing that, oh, okay, this girl in the front, she did that nice. Okay, but whoa, what was that?
You gotta look around.
Back there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like that. Like, then learn how to do better transitions so everybody can show.
Right.
If that's what it is. But like if every single number I'm seeing the same 4, 5, 6
in the front while
4, 5, 6 like they're holding the back and they're getting lick up
short,
in
and I don't
song.
understand why I'm in the back either, but it's okay.
All them something that too, like like I go off of height and ratio and what and who dances nice beside each other, and and I make sure everything balances out on top of you hitting my choreography. But
not everyone thinks that way though.
The vignette needs to be addressed.
It does.
A lot of
it definitely does.
People's choreography. So I had Mark telling me that one time. Mark Marvelous. I don't know if you guys know him. He's like a stupid dancer. He dances with Usher and everybody under the sun.
Oh, he was in the You Don't Have to Call.
Yes,
I know who that is. Yes.
Mark. Yeah. So I remember I showed him a piece one time. I think it was a starting piece, and he's just like, "Okay, you need more vignettes," and I was like, "Oh, okay." All right, so back to the drawing board. Because it opened my eyes that my transitions were so like, you here, one here, okay, a double here, a double there, a double that. It's very, and I was just like, yeah, he's right. And I feel like a lot of you guys aren't asking for outside opinions. And that means a lot of us aren't growing as a creative, which is a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't hesitate to send it to somebody and be like, what do you think? What do you think?
Not your yes man.
Like somebody. And
that's what I'm saying.
Like, I didn't need it. Like, he never mentioned my choreography, not once. He's just like, that's just fire. However, and I was like, got it. I just needed I needed somebody to tell me something real. And then, okay, I get it. Smoothing that out, swift that up, change that up, move transition. Okay, so
it's understanding.
It's understanding, and that is from somebody from the hood, like Brooklyn. Like this is my Brooklyn dude. You know what I mean? So for him to change his whole entire dialect on me, I was just like, yeah, got it. I need to grow too. It was eye-opening. He grew so much. And I was just like, I'm glad I sent it to you because you opened my eye, because you weren't here to be like, yeah, Tazz, like, that shit's fire, man.
He told you the truth.
He told me the truth, girl. It's too stationary. Yeah. It's too, blah, blah, blah. It looks good, but it could use a little bit more razzle-dazzle.
Right. Yeah. See, some people aren't, like, willing to take the constructive criticism.
Take it. Oh, God, yes. It is, yeah.
They don't want to take it.
They don't want to take it.
We try to have that conversation, especially with you saying like being in the back and being like, there has been point where recently I got a message from Touch. Touch messaged me and said, good job in so and so's piece, and I was like, oh, how the fuck did he see me? Like that's exactly what I said to myself. Like I was like,
listen, people like me in Touch, we come from that era where we know how to dissect the whole entire piece. And we're not glamorized, again, by a lot of whipping and tossing and whatever. And sometimes, yes, you might dance large and big and your movements are loud and not, but sometimes that's not required.
There's a time and place.
You know what I'm saying?
For everything.
Sometimes it's not required. Sometimes there's a subtle pocket that you're missing because you're trying to hit it so hard because, like, you know, you want to be seen. Nobody sees that, sis. Like, you look the same in every piece.
That's not.
It's not it.
It's not it. No.
You know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing in every piece, so I don't care to see that in every piece. It looks good for maybe 2.5 seconds, and then I'm on to the next. And then I'm on to the next again. And then I'm looking at the person. And then somebody will grab you wherever they are. And granted, yes, no matter where you are on the stage, you should always be slaying and killing it.
Yes.
But again, I do think that you should put people accordingly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the same 4 or 5 people.
It's the same. It's the same. Absolutely.
Like, you're getting my time. So if I don't feel that way, or if I feel like the same 4 people are in the front, or you're using the same 3 people because they have a lot more energy, I'm sorry. You understand when you're in the 30s Club, girl? But the 30s Club is a different type of stamina. Like, not to make no excuses, because
you're still doing it.
But let me tell you something. I don't have that. I sweat now a lot.
I never used to sweat.
I didn't used to sweat like this. I'm like, holy. Like,
yeah, it's true. I recently just started sweating too.
I'm saying, I'm like, shit.
It's weird.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So
I know. Yeah.
Not to go on a tangent or to ramble, but I felt that so much when you said that, because it's how I've been feeling.
Yeah.
And I don't want to bite my tongue.
Right.
but it does hurt me when I'm in those dances and for somebody like Touch to be like, yo, you did a good job. And I'm like, yo, I was in the back and I was on stage for 1:30 and you saw me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, shit, I am doing something right.
Yeah.
So that made me feel better, even though I didn't feel good about that situation.
Right. It's true. But I also, that brings me to another point for you. You can say no.
That's
you know, I'm gonna let everybody know this, okay? I said no to so many jobs, like paying ones too, because I didn't want to. It didn't fit my my lane. Sometimes it wasn't enough money.
Yep.
It just didn't feel right. I said no. Like, you know, I remember saying no to a Glenn Lewis job. I love the song. But, like, they wanted to pay me $200. Granted. I know, but granted.
I know.
but granted, back then, like, and that was a freestyling job.
You know your worth.
This was it. And also, I knew the back end of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
I knew they were going to fly in some chick, put her up in a hotel, and pay her per diem, and pay her to be on set. I knew that was going to be a lot of money. And the fact of the matter is, you wanted to pay me $200 when you were going to
in the
pay somebody you were going to spend like some $3,000.
Yes, you're so right.
$4,000 on a one person. Again, that probably is not going to be shown as much as me. That isn't going to be working as much as me. And because we know them, because, you know, they're like, oh, Tasha, we're going to make you the focal. So give me the money. We are give her the money for.
They know your talent, but they don't want to pay you for the talent.
Pay me. You want to pay the Dominican-looking girl, the racially ambiguous girl, all this coin, just she can just, you know, look real cute in a vehicle while I did all this hard work, sweating my ass off. When I spoke to Unika, she said it was 22 hours, honey, not for $200.
Oh, Lord.
When you know the budget is there.
When I know the budget is there, okay? I knew the budget was there. I had another job, like, you know, it was like working with the city, like, shouts out to Elizabeth, always gonna step up. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I was teaching for a few hours, and I was going to be making the same amount of money that I would be making for 22 hours. I did the math.
There's no sense.
I was going to teach for about two or four classes for the day, and I was going to be coming home with $200. I did that. I chose that over that. I said no.
4 hours versus 22
the
hours.
Producer, I told the producer, I
it's
gave
your
her.
time.
I gave her, and I gave her my variables. I'm just like, I want to petition for some more money because I know that it doesn't make sense logically. Like, you know, I didn't want to, you know, give away my friend that gave me the details and the specs, but I'm just like, I feel like I deserve a little bit more. I've been working with you guys for so many years and whatever, and I know you guys are flying somebody in because that's what you guys do, and I'm just like, and you want to pay, like, you know, me and Meek's 2 bills? I'm just like, I don't want to do it. I'm like, I would love to because I love Glenn. I love him. He's the beginning of my dance career. I would have loved to do it, but again, like, it doesn't make sense. From 17 to now, I'm just like, we can't be at this money. Like, I can't meet you at 17 years old and that money, and then come here like, you know, 20 odd years old and then this money. It don't make sense.
There's
I was
growth
like,
in everything.
yeah, there should be growth. And she was just like, I respect your decision. I understand. I would love to have you, but you know, they're not really gonna, like, you know, let me have it. Like, no problem. Have a good shoot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Wish you all the best. But again, like, this is me saying you guys have options of saying no to a lot of these guys and girls who are not doing you justice and not doing you right and not treating you fairly. You get what I'm saying? Everybody has that no in them, or, you know, unfortunately, or maybe next time.
Yeah. Doesn't work for my schedule.
You know, it doesn't work for me, like, you know, and just chalk it up to, you know what, I'm gonna save some gas money.
Yeah. So
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's great. Like, you know, like, you want to be on stage, you want to keep dancing, and you want to keep doing things, but at the end of the day, like, sometimes it's like, no, it's not worth it. Let me just do my own piece. How about that, Cheyenne? I feel like it's time. Like sometimes it's, that I would have never thought to like do it. Like I think the first choreographer's ball, I just kind of was like, let me try this. Let me see what happens.
Yeah.
And I just kind of like tried it. And I had a bunch of like artist friends. And I was like, hey, you guys want to sing?
Yeah.
And they were like, sure. Yeah. And that's how it was. Like I just asked people and they were like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And first choreographer's ball I did. And again, like then that's when I did like all of like that's why I think I just came home from Mexico. And like I think I threw every single thing I ever learned. I did like there was b-boy and there was Latin, there was dancehall, there was everything. Like I just said, yeah, take it all, take it all. Like like I think Rodrigo was in my piece. FJ, what is FJ? Listen, I remember these dancers. Yeah, like Natalia, Tasha.
Why don't you teach if you have such knowledge?
Well, okay, so technically I kind of do teach still. Okay, long story short, me and the centipede had a thing, and I was on the attack, and I lost the battle against the centipede, and I actually fell and injured myself.
No, like a dead ass centipede.
A dead ass centipede. I hate those things, fam. Like those things are.
So that's why you got your back.
That's what I said. So that's how I know it's not something traumatic. Like so me and centipede were warring, and I lost the battle. I mean, he's dead and everything, but still, I still lost the battle. But
insert a clip of a centipede.
Don't do that. That's mean. So I injured my back, tore glute muscle, did all kinds of damage to my lower back. So I haven't been able to actually teach since I was forcing it. I didn't even know how bad it was. A lot of messed up like really traumatic family situations happened, and I just kept thinking, oh, it's stress, my back, and plus I'm a hairstylist as well, so I stand every day, and titties is heavy too, so like I was like, oh, it's probably just that, it's like it's just like all these things until like it was like I was about to go to Jamaica and I was like, oh, nah, man, something's wrong, like something's wrong with my back. So I went to like my physiotherapist, and he's just like, oh, I'm gonna send you here, go get an ultrasound and stuff. And they're like, oh, actually, you have 2 major tears in your glute muscles and and you're gonna need to really reconstruct it. And I was like, oh my God, what the frig? How? I was like, centipede. Oh my. But yeah, so essentially, like, I haven't been able to really dance because it's not fixing, because I can't stop working, because I still stand up every day. Work, so it's taking so long to repair. I can't work out. I can't lift weights. I can't run. I can't squat. I can't jump. I can't do so many things. Like, like you'll catch me 1 and 2 times, like, bubbling up and stuff myself, but then I'll feel it the next day. Yeah. Because I just put myself back another week. So like that's essentially why I'm not teaching at the moment. Yeah. But I also am not like rushing to get back to teach either, because again, like, come on, y'all, like y'all want to learn those 50 million steps. I ain't involved. And like I said, I'm not new school, and I don't want to be. There are lots of like, really dynamic people who do that. Who do that stuff. Come on, right? No, exactly. Who do that? But this is what it is. If you want that, that's where you go. If you want certain things, you go there. So I'm in the mindset of, you do not want a grounded foundation, so you don't come to me, and that's just it. I don't record a lot of things because I respect that you need to learn how to do things properly first. I will make Alex tape in the best possible light of people. But again, like, I have secondhand embarrassment, and low key, like, I'm just like, that never looked right. Oh. But I'm really proud of you for trying, attempting it. You know what I'm saying? But again, like, I don't necessarily think that learning should be for show for you guys. I feel like learning should be learning. when I was learning, I don't want anybody seeing how I learn. Like sometimes it's messy. Sometimes it's not clean. It's not the greatest. Like, you know, I don't expect you to get how I dance because I don't get how I dance. You know what I'm saying? Like I move differently and I don't know who moves like me. You know, I got people who can move similar to me, but I don't know.
No one's like you.
You know,
you're one of a kind.
Yeah.
Again, thank you.
It's a love-hate relationship. That was a compliment, but I'm also telling you, like, it's hard. You give me headaches sometimes. I'm like, what the fuck is she listening to?
But listen, it's there. It's there. The music tells me what to do.
Like your arm and your leg has to move. Cheyenne, I'll do it again. I'm like, I don't think you understand that this does not work for my body. And now that I got it, you know the Tasha Tazz. You know,
everybody does.
Now I do it every time. I'm like, because I'm never gonna not do this
every time.
Arms. Don't get me mad.
Don't kill me.
Yeah.
But like I said, like, you know, like I know I don't put myself out there. I don't even post on social media. I am the worst. I don't post anywhere, but I'm low-key a private person like that. Though. Like, you know,
it's not for everyone.
It ain't for everybody.
If you know, you
I
know,
keep
bro.
saying, I keep saying I'm trying, but I'm really not. Like one day I'll probably will try. Don't know when though. I'm gonna figure out some stuff first, and then I'll try that.
But if it doesn't come natural, like don't force it.
Yeah, that's what it is. Right? Like I would like to teach, maybe not as regular as I did before. Maybe like here pop-ups here and there. I think is possibly the best bet for me right now, or like a program. But away from that, you know, like I'd rather just more so like work behind the scenes with dancers and making sure everybody gets paid. Well, I want to bring, you know, let dancers get paid again. You know, make dancers get paid again. I want that to be the way how it should be going forward. Like, I feel like this pandemic has really let people really show how much money they have. So I'm pretty sure they have some money to pay you guys when things open up.
Exactly.
So you know what I'm saying? Like I know they do. Like everybody's showing me their stocks and all that kind of stuff. So y'all got some money.
Y'all
got some money. Yes. So you know, so do not take these jobs from your friends or people who you really wanted to work with. If it's not a good rate,
right?
If there's no rates, don't do it at all. Like, come on, fight for yourself so you can fight for other dancers as well. If you say no, please, guys, for the love of God, don't. As soon as you see somebody else say no, you're gonna go pick it up and say, "Yeah, I'll do it." Don't. You will never get paid this way.
Yeah.
Unified front, please, and dancers talk to each other and let people know, like, so and so don't pay, like. Tell them. If so and so don't pay, if so and so doesn't pay, don't be a victim of so and so too, and don't let your friends fall victims as well. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying. It starts with you guys. Do not settle. Do not settle.
Yeah.
The only way it works is if you guys stand up for yourselves, because people have a little budget. It might not be a lot. And if you feel like doing, like, you know, if it's your friend, if it's your virgin as an artist, but still you should collect a little something, because bus fare and gas and wardrobe and time doesn't come for free.
Especially
you know how expensive it is to live out here in these streets in Canada. Toronto is expensive.
We definitely know. During this time in my personal life, I definitely know. So outside, like, I asked you, like, where's the reset button for adult life? Because I'm asking for me.
Listen, this
not
is
even asking for a friend. I'm
asking for myself. It's true. So really and truly, like, you know, I want everybody to come up, but at the end of the day, like, there's enough money around here circulating. So make sure that when you're saying no, you just know that means that they are going to be learning to find a budget and put a budget in place for dancers. So keep saying no to these lowballing $100, $150 exposures. You know, I'm still waiting for some exposure to pay a bill. So I know I have never cashed in an exposure check yet. So if you guys have done it, let me know because I have a lot of exposure. I can just cash that in.
Yo, I
You
can
know
buy
what I'm
a house
saying?
with
Oh
your
my
money.
gosh, mention, honey.
Let me tell you.
Mention.
Shit.
But yeah, so again, like you guys have to talk to each other and be each other's backbone. Like,
Absolutely.
nah, girl, don't do it. Like, no.
Don't do it, girl.
Don't do it, girl.
That's a TikTok.
I did it.
I did it.
I'm not gonna do it.
Yes, but they did do it.
Yeah,
they go
like,
behind your back and they did it.
They did it.
They did it for free.
Yeah.
So
it's all around what you're saying. The gigs, the agencies, it's all around it. So it does start with us, and that hopefully it changes, but. We just wanted to have you here because we appreciate you.
Thank you.
I wanted to make sure you got your flowers, even though you don't feel appreciated by Canadians. This Canadian and this Canadian appreciate you. So I mean, that's 2 Canadians. So I mean, it's better than that. I know a couple boys, But
your sister.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Big up Leonora anyway. Dad, I'll send out them outside. But anyways,
don't kill me.
Yeah,
and let's shout her out because she is our biggest supporter.
She really is.
What? Aaliyah,
follow her.
Yes.
Okay. Aaliyah is commenting. Aaliyah's like, when's the next vlog?
Yes, we love her.
When is Good Buddy Tazz coming?
Don't kill me.
She's coming just now, but we thank you for coming. And
yes, thank you so much.
We could talk for 3 hours.
Yeah, we really could.
Hopefully, we could bring you back and we could talk some more. But thank you. We appreciate you.
We do.
We love you.
Yes.
And what
I'm giving you your flowers.
No, man, I get you one bouquet first, right? Grow your whole field.
Your whole field.
So
Well, thank y'all.
But yes, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that little bell button right down below so you get notified every single time we post. We love you guys.
Follow CheyTea Podcast on Instagram.
Yes.
On Instagram and my elbow. On Instagram and TikTok.
And where can they follow you?
You can follow me at Tasha.Tazz.
Yes.
Even though she just said she doesn't post.
I mean,
just follow her.
Actually,
Just follow her.
I don't even know my own handle. Tasha Tazz. One word.
I think it's
2 Z's.
Yeah, I think it's 2. Yeah. It's something like that.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I think I saw it.
Tasha.
Yeah.
No, there's no dot. It's just
Tasha Tazz.
Yeah,
I think
it.
there's a Tasha. And there's lyric hair, and that's one word as well.
Yes, that too. Get your hair done.
Oh, yes, and make things happen. Toronto Dance Collective.
Yes.
Okay, got you.
And follow all of those guys.
She can lay your hair because it'll be like lace front wear.
Yes.
Okay. Wear.
And then you can whip that hair.
No, all right, end of episode. Okay, next. Bye. This girl said that. I didn't even click it in it.
I clicked it right away.
That hair, wait a minute.
Shade.
Not the shade.
Yes, the shade.
She said I'm the tea, so I bring the shade.
You already know.